It had been a tense few weeks. Clara, my wife, had been spending long hours at the office, often claiming she had late meetings or important projects to finish. I trusted her, or at least I wanted to believe I did. But there was a gnawing feeling in the back of my mind, a suspicion I tried to push aside while pretending everything was normal. The city's annual corporate gala was approaching, a formal event where her company celebrated yearly achievements. I had prepared my tuxedo, Clara's dress was impeccable, and we arrived to the glittering ballroom full of colleagues, industry leaders, and socialites. The atmosphere was lively, filled with polite conversation, clinking glasses, and the low hum of classical music. At first, everything seemed normal. Clara floated through the crowd, charming her coworkers, laughing at their jokes, and accepting congratulations for recent work accomplishments. I tried to enjoy the evening, making small talk and nodding at familiar faces. But I couldn't shake the unease. Something felt off, like an invisible tension hung between us. The turning point came during the awards ceremony. Clara had been nominated for a Leadership Recognition Award, and she approached the stage with grace, accepting congratulations from her peers. As she returned to our table, I noticed her work partner, a man named Jason, who had often accompanied her to late meetings, lingering a little too close, exchanging knowing glances that now made my stomach churn. I had never met him before, but something about his presence unsettled me. I tried to dismiss it as paranoia until later, during the gala dinner. Clara and I were seated near the center of the room, and the atmosphere grew more intimate as speeches were given. Then, without warning, Jason stood up, microphone in hand. His tone was casual, but his eyes were fixed on Clara. "It's funny how sometimes people think they can keep things hidden," he began, drawing a few curious glances from nearby tables. "But some secrets, well, they have a way of slipping out." My heart sank. I looked at Clara, who froze, her confident smile faltering. The room quieted, sensing the tension. Jason continued, his voice steady, yet cutting. "I've had the privilege of working closely with Clara this year. Long hours, late nights, countless projects, and sometimes, those projects bring people closer than they should be." Gasps rippled across the room. I felt my chest tighten as everyone's attention turned toward us. Clara's face went pale, her mouth opening and closing as if searching for a word that wouldn't come. "I never thought I'd have to do this," Jason said, his eyes locked on Clara, "but honesty is important. Everyone deserves to know the truth. And the truth is," he paused, letting the weight of his words settle. Clara's work partnership extended far beyond professional boundaries. She and I. Clara's hand flew to her mouth, trying to stop him, but it was too late. The whispers and shocked expressions spread like wildfire across the gala floor. I sat frozen, a mix of disbelief, anger, and heartache coursing through me. The truth I had suspected but never confirmed now stood exposed for everyone to see. I watched as colleagues exchanged stunned glances, friends murmured questions, and Clara's carefully curated facade crumbled before my eyes. Her laughter, the charm, the confidence, it all vanished. Jason's words had ripped away the illusion of normalcy. Clara finally found her voice, trembling. "Jason, please. You can't say that," she pleaded, but the damage was done. The evidence he revealed, messages, late-night meetings, and shared moments she thought were private, was undeniable. I could see the realization hitting her. The affair she had kept hidden was no longer hers to control. I stayed silent. I didn't shout, I didn't argue, I simply sat there, letting the scene unfold. Clara's humiliation was complete, her secrets laid bare in front of colleagues, industry leaders, and friends. There was no room for denial, no way to spin the narrative. The betrayal was clear, public, and unavoidable. After the gala, I didn't speak much on the drive home. Clara remained silent beside me, her previous confidence replaced by shame and regret. I realized that trust, once broken, cannot be rebuilt through words alone. Actions, transparency, and honesty are what sustain a relationship, and Clara had violated them all. The next day, our lives felt irrevocably changed. I could see the ripple effect in her office, in the whispers of colleagues, in the distant, cautious greetings of friends. The exposure had forced reality into a sharp focus. Clara had to face not just me, but the judgment and disappointment of everyone who had ever trusted her professionalism and integrity. In the quiet of our home, I confronted her, not with anger, but with clarity. "You've broken something," I said softly. "Not just with me, but with everyone around you. The truth has a way of coming out, and tonight proved that. You can't undo it." Clara's eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean. "I know," I interrupted gently. "But intentions don't erase actions. The damage is done. And now, you have to live with the consequences of your choices." That night, I slept on the other side of the bed. Not out of malice, but out of recognition that trust had been shattered, and rebuilding it would take more than words. It would take honesty, accountability, and consistent action. Over the following weeks, I kept my distance. Clara tried to apologize, tried to explain, but I understood that the public exposure at the gala had changed everything. The affair had stayed hidden for months, but once the truth came out, there was no turning back. Transparency, integrity, and the respect we once shared had been irrevocably compromised. In a strange way, Jason's intervention had saved me from a prolonged period of doubt and suspicion. The exposure, though painful, forced clarity. I knew now exactly where I stood, exactly what had happened, and exactly what I needed to do to protect myself from further deceit. The gala would forever remain a turning point, a night where hidden truths were revealed, facades crumbled, and the reality of betrayal could no longer be ignored. Clara's office affair, once concealed behind polite smiles and late-night excuses, was now exposed to the world. And in that exposure, I found not relief, but resolve, to no longer allow deception to rule my life, and to face the future with eyes wide open.